Yo, in today's video, I'm going to talk about what I think is one of God's greatest creations, music. And no, this is not no trash versus garbage, raw wave versus huncho kind of music, bro. We talking about some beautifully written music. So with that being said, number one entry is going to If Only from Descendants by Dove Cameron. For starters, just an absolutely beautiful and stunning visual on this movie, and the sense of nostalgia is like no other when it comes to this movie, and another one I got on the list for later on. But one of the main reasons I put this on the list for beauty in the music is just the lyrics. In order to understand the lyrics, we're gonna need a little bit of context in the story. This is Mal. She is the daughter of Maleficent, who's on screen now. And to put things simply, they're just evil, thanks to their loving parents, that is. Anyways, their main goal is to just get fairy godmother's wand and start blowing shit up, bro. Why, you may ask? Well, because of plot. I mean, I really don't have nothing else to say. They find the magic wand and they try to retrieve it. It doesn't work. So now they switching plans. I call this plan Snow Bunny Cookie Mind Control. And I truly think there's no better name for it, because that's exactly what happened. She low-key gaslit him and manipulated him. Boom, he took a bite out of that cookie immediately. Then she gave him this look. Oh, la da da da. Man, I just knew it was over. And then he dropped this song on us, bruh. Just straight hits, bruh. No misses for real. Mind you, his girl at the time was literally chanting for her. Like, come on, bro. That's just terrible. He spotted her in the crowd and full on Tom Brady's it to her perfectly. Gang. Gang. And then he crowd surfed to her to ask her to be his new girl. I mean, just a completely and utterly ridiculous shot, in my opinion. But when you got swagger and when you got motion and when you're just a hot white man like him, no glaze by the way, it works. So boom. Now we're back in the present, caught up with the story so far. And now we're gonna really try to break down these lyrics. We're gonna start off with the first lyric in the song. A million thoughts in my head. Should I let my heart keep listening? Now with this, I feel like it's just her confliction, really. She doesn't know where this is gonna go. She doesn't know what's gonna happen. Because truthfully, like how I gave context earlier, her parents, or her mom I should say, are just evil, and her mom and her friends just wanna, you know, take back over the world, being able to just have this freedom and be evil just because they can, simply. And in another song, they kind of talk about this, and that song kind of gave her the motivation to keep going towards it. But now, after spending this time, this quality time with Ben, and even though it's just the cookie mind control, it feels real. Like these kids, like they never really got love, and so it's like having somebody love you unconditionally, even if like they're not aware of it. It really is just crazy. If you watch the movie like through and through, then yes, you can kind of tell that, even though it doesn't seem as if Mal likes him, deep down she does. And I mean, I feel like in the second movie, I mean, we really can see the love she has for Ben, but in this movie too. So then she further states, if only I knew what my heart was telling me. I don't know what I'm feeling. Is this just a dream? So with this right here, I truly think is like she's just venting, but it's in a song, really. Cause I mean, what a better way to do it than with music? Cause I feel like music, no matter like what exactly it is, what genre, it can always touch somebody in a certain way. Unless you're listening to King Von, bro. Moving on, the next lyrics are, am I crazy? Maybe we can happen, yeah. Will you still be with me when the magic star run out? Now this bar right here, especially since it's toward the end of the song, it's like, I think this is like really her putting it all out there. Maybe we could happen. I don't care what y'all say. That's enough for me, bro. Especially when you take into account the fact that she has been manipulating him this whole movie. But now saying it kind of like fall back on her, because she's like really falling for him. And so after this, we realize that Ben really does like her for her, because she asks him, how does he feel? And then he drops this on us.
I mean, let's give the anti-love potion a few minutes to take effect.
This man knew all along and he's still going out with her, showing that the feelings were never fake and that all of this was for a reason. Now, I'm not calling myself no movie analyst or nothing, but we can clearly see that Disney dropped a gem on us. And we running it back with Disney. This time we got Cars, the first Cars movie. We're gonna do Find Yourself by Brad Paisley. And in recent years, this has become one of my favorite songs from the entire Cars franchise wholeheartedly. And y'all about to see why. Let's go. So I'm gonna try to keep it brief since I love Cars and I could just ramble on and this video could skyrocket to like 20 minutes. Hey, I could really do the whole movie trilogy for a video if y'all want. But anyways, my boy McQueen is too fast for him. And he really cut up, he get through any gap. I notice how y'all be feeling in y'all Nissan Altima. Slow the fuck down before you kill us all. Continuing on, McQueen is tied with Strip Weathers and Chick Hicks, which are two veteran racers. They're all tied at 5,013 points. And this is the final race of the season to see who wins the Piston Cup. So it's clutch time. My nigga really need to lock in like Big Bro Brown. Anyways, to give y'all more background information and context to where I'm going to go with the music, McQueen is really just a cocky rookie. And honestly, he's just ego-filled and kind of a dickhead, to put it blatantly. And we can see that easily if you go through and watch the movie. You can just see how rude he was to others and the things he said. Like, there's this scene where, you know, his sponsors is the Rusty's medicated bumper formula. And so, with that being said, a bunch of people that's going to support it is obviously Rusty Cars. And it's simply stated that he hates rusty old cars and he just doesn't like that for his image. But with that being said, I feel like that's like one of the most important parts of his character. Another thing is that he is very independent, and also in the movie it states that he had 3 crew chiefs like in this season alone, and this is his rookie season. And I don't even think that you can say it's a thing out of pride, because he's just very confident in himself, and also he does have that kind of independency issue. Like in Cars 3, Cruz Ramirez, I'm I'm telling you, I'm too locked in with the series. Cruz Ramirez was like, "How did you know you could do it?" And he just said, "I never thought I couldn't." Continuing on with the story, McQueen, the King, and Chick Hicks all got a 3-way tie. So now there's a final race set to be in California. Him and Mac leave. McQueen falls asleep. Mac is falling asleep. And then these tuner cars pull up on them and basically start harassing Mac while he's half asleep. And then McQueen's merchandise ends up opening the trailer door. And so after this, McQueen gets lost on the highway. And while looking for Mac, he ends up in Radiator Springs, and he was speeding through the streets. So sheriff caught on to him, and he thought sheriff was shooting at him. So he started serpentating, and he just started freaking the hell out. And with his freak out, he literally causes the most property damage anyone can do on accident. Like, there's some Tom and Jerry shit going on here. So the next morning, all they wanted him to do was to fix the road, because Sally said, and I quote, "We are a town worth fixing." Now, I mean, I agree. I don't know why I put that in quote, but I digress. So now all he has to do is fix the road, and then he gets to go to the race. I think I covered all my bases. We're now going to get into the lyrics. It starts off with, it says, "When you find yourself in some far off place and it causes you to rethink some things, you start to sense that you're slowly becoming someone else, and then you find yourself." For this part of the song, I think it's more of just like, it's saying he finds himself in a far off place. So obviously referring to Radiator Springs, because he's not at home. I mean, we can obviously assume that he's not from Radiator Springs. He has no recollection of this place. He doesn't know where this is. It's not on modern maps at this point. And it causes you to rethink some things. Honestly, him being in Radiator Springs is a huge, humbling, and eye-opening experience for his character. And him becoming someone else is him becoming more compassionate and him finding his people. So now when we get to the second verse, and it says, "When you make new friends in a brand new town and you start to think about settling down." This right here is clear as day. I mean, throughout the movie, we can see him and Mater becoming exceptional friends. I mean, in the movie, it even states, Mater says, "I knew that I made a good choice." McQueen asks him what, and Mater looks him dead in his eyes and says, "My best friend." And I feel like the look on McQueen's face really conveys that he's never been called that. I don't know if I said this earlier, but in the book about McQueen's like past, he had a really good friend, and they were like, they raced together, but he betrayed him. I'm gonna try to find like an image of it and put it on screen for this part of the video. Moving on with verse 2, it then states, and he starts to think about settling down. At the very end of the movie, he comes back to Radiator Springs and he starts talking about how he talks to Sally that he's starting his like racing center here, and that he's gonna stay situated here. And it all works out because Doc Hudson became his full-time crew chief, and that's somebody who he was really compatible with. The things that would have been lost in you are now clear as a bell. It's like him being real with himself. I feel like this could go a lot of different ways, like the more I think about it. But the things that would have been lost on you is maybe just like the things he learned and like the values he got from Radiator Springs. Like when Doc Hudson told him that the Piston Cup is just an empty bell, and it showed him how the company that they race under doesn't really care. I know that is a crazy take, but stay with me now. But when you take into the fact that Doc won 3 back-to-back-to-back, he had a big wreck in 1954. He comes back ready, fixes himself up, and they quit on him. Now the chorus goes, well, you go through life so sure of where you're heading, and then you wind up lost, and it's the best thing that could have happened. Because sometimes when you lose your way, it's really just as well. Because you find yourself, yeah, that's when you find yourself. Well, obviously, it's saying that McQueen was sure of where he's heading, like the lyrics stated. I mean, he's a rookie racer, he's in his first year, and he's ready to win a Piston Cup. He's in the best shape physically, and honestly, once he finds himself a crew chief and somebody's compatible with him, or if he keeps going solo, he could have won that race. He could have did this, he could have did that, and then he obviously winds up lost, thanks to Plot, of course, my favorite hero. And it really was the best thing that could have happened because it humbled him, it gave him his best friend in Mater, it gave him a love interest in Sally, and finally, it gave him the crew chief and mentor that he needed, which is Doc Hudson. And then you can say fifth as, the racing center that he set up there and the rest of his like family, which is Radiator Springs. This part is probably like my favorite verse. It's the third verse, and we're getting towards the end of the song. It says, when you meet the one that you've been waiting for, and she's everything that you want and more, you look at her and you finally start to live for someone else. And then you find yourself. Yeah, that's when you find yourself. Now, once again, McQueen, as he said in the movie, that he's solo dolo, he's solo mio, and he stated to Luigi and Guido when he went to race Doc Hudson that he doesn't need any help. And now he's going on drives with Sally. He came back to Radiator Springs. I mean, he liked her at first sight. And when the song states that when she's everything that you want and more, there's no better way to put it than that's what she is. She's the perfect embodiment of it. First things first, she's an attorney, so she got that money, which shouldn't really be a problem, but it's a plus. She's the manager, or what I can assume to be the manager of the Cozy Motel, and the best part about it all, her loyalty is simply unmatched. She's been in Radiator Springs for years on years now, and I doubt there's an idea in her mind of leaving because she said that she fell in love with this place. And then you look at her and you finally start to live for someone else. In the third, or not the third race, in the final race in California, we can clearly see that McQueen is not in it, and he goes back to envisioning Sally, envisioning Radiator Springs, envisioning that atmosphere that he was just once in, because that's what he's been waiting for. That's what he always wanted, because truthfully, you can get the fame, you can get the glory, you can get all these materialistic things, but the one thing that you do need for certain is some kind of shoulder to fall on. Is some people to be in your corner that's real. Because when you look at Harv, his agent, he's not really there for him. I mean, when McQueen had like 20 tickets to the California race, and he was like, can you just give me like 20 of your closest friends to take to the race? McQueen was genuinely stumped on that. And that kind of makes me sad, because even though it's just a movie character, it makes it all the more relatable. Because, I mean, there's so many people out in the world who feel like they don't have that kind of shoulder to lean on and somebody to reach out to. I just want you all to know that you're never alone. And even though I do have a very small community, and who knows how many people may watch this video, I want you to know that I love you personally. God loves you, even if you're not religious. I'm not trying to force it onto you or anything, but that's just how I feel. This is very random to put at the end of a music video, but it's truly how I feel. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys, and that's all for me. I'm signing out.